Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks for joining me today. Today's fun fold is called a Wingate fun fold. And I found this online on Pinterest, and it's Barry and Jay from the UK who I think designed it, because I heard them on their videos saying, what are we going to call this thing? So I think they designed it, came up with the name. It's there's a lot to it. I did confirm that it fits in our medium envelopes, but it is bulky. It would probably take some extra postage, or maybe better off if you hand deliver it. But isn't it fun? I think it's so cute. So for this card, I used the Friends of the Ocean. I got it right. I can never remember the names. The Friends of the Ocean Designer Series paper. And I just love these starfish. And the colors are just so pretty in here. I almost did this instead of the orange, but I did like that pattern in the orange. And I thought this might be too busy for it. And then I used the stamp set for the sentiment, and I just did the hello. So I covered this with a piece of post-it note or masking tape and just inked up this part. And we're going to do that on today's card with a different stamp set. And then I die cut. You can die cut right out of the paper, which is really cool because, you know, I could never color like that. So if you get, let me just pull it out. It's kind of caught on the side. This piece, oh my goodness, getting it all caught. You can cut out, there's dies to cut out the lobster and the crab. So that's fun. So you can just die cut that. And I like the crab, so I went with him. And then there's these little starfish that I did on the inside. I didn't write anything on the inside or stamp anything on the inside because there's not a lot of room for you to write on. So, and I don't know who I'm sending this to and why I'm saying hello. So that'll be at a later date. So let me put all of this aside. And let's get started on today's card. We are going to be using the mixed media designer series paper. And sorry, I've got something falling over there. And we're going to make a black and white card. I used this for my card class last month, and we did do a black and white card, and it was really pretty. And I just love a black and white card. Before I get into that, though, I just wanted to just quickly, these are the cards we're going to be using, the Cute as Can Be designer series paper, and these are the cards that we'll be making for the March card class. If you are interested, you can sign up by March 10th. And then I'll make the kits and I'll mail them out to you. So I didn't do the inside. I have to do the inside of that one. And the same with this. But isn't it cute? It's such fun paper, fun colors. So I just wanted to show you that you can, I'll put a link below this video, but you have to sign up by March 10th. And if you're interested in that. Otherwise, you can email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com, and you can ask me about it if you want more information. So let's get started. I am going to be using this and these two patterns for my black and white card. And I'm going to start right from scratch, a full sheet, because you're going to need 2 sheets of cardstock for this card. You'll have left over, but you're not going to get 2 cards out of these. And this is a little bent here, but that's okay because I'm not going to use that part. So let's start. I'm going to make the background white like I did on this card, and then the insert will be black. So let's get these started. We'll start with the white. I'll get my trimmer out. And this is going to be 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we have to use the 11 side, and we'll go to 9 1/4. And there's a lot of pieces and measurements in this card. There's a lot of layers and kind of funny measurements. So you could watch along, and then if you look at below, there's a link for a project sheet. I'll have all those measurements there, and you can be able to get them that way instead of trying to write them all down. So let's do this. We're going to go 9 1/4. And this I'm going to probably, I'll use this as scrap, but this is a little bent. And then by 5 1/2. So this is like a special card. You're not going to make tons of these, I don't think, because now you've got this. And this is the thick, basic white cardstock. And then we'll do some scoring, but let me just finish with the cutting. The wing base is what they called it, is 10 1/16. So we're going to go 10, and then the 16ths are all the lines between 10 and 11. There's 16 of them. So we're going to do 10 1/16. And this is going to be by 3 3/4. So we'll do 3 3/4. I want to make sure I'm in here. I hope I was in for all of that. Okay, I stopped the camera for a minute because I wanted to go back and make sure that I was in for all of those measurements, that you could see the top, and I was, so that's good. So the white piece, we are going, this is like your main card base, and we are going to score this at 5/8. So if you, there's 4/8 between the start and a half. So if you go to 1/8, that's the little line, then there's the next big line. That's the 5/8. So 4/8 is a half, so the next eighth is 5/8. That's how I usually try to do that. And we're going to score. And it's very little, so it's this fold here. And then we're going to move in and go 2 5/8. So 2 1/2, and then an eighth, not the 16th, but the eighth. And then we're going to do 6 5/8. And this between 6 and 7 is a little bit weird because you've got this here. So go to the half and then go an eighth more. And then 8 5/8. So 8 1/2, 8 5/8. Okay, so now we have this, and let's do our black piece. And this one is, let me just get it. This is called the wing base, and we're going to score it at 2. And I can't believe people come up with all of these measurements. I don't know. I'm a copier. I copy what other people did, and then I may change it and make it my own. So that's 2 and then 4, and then 6 1/16. Is that right? 6 1/16. So you're going to go 6, and the line right after it is still visible before you get into the part where it closes. And then 8 1/16. So we're going to go 8, and then that little ticky mark right after the 8 is 1/16. Okay, so I think we're done with our trimmer. And then we can get our bone folder and just burnish all of these. So let's just burnish these. Oops, this one, and you can you know, fold them back again if you want and burnish the other way. That just makes it I think it kind of breaks up the fibers of the paper a little bit better, so it folds easier. And then one last one. Okay, so that's that piece. Let's do the white piece. And there's this 5/8. And then it's hard to see. It's kind of a rainy day here. And then let's do this side. And this last one. And I kept thinking these fold in, but they actually fold out. when you have your card closed. And then really what you're doing is layering. It's going to be a lot of layering, and I already cut the pieces, so we don't have to worry about it. There's mats and there's pattern paper. So this is how this is going to go. And then this is going to come in the inside. Okay, and I think this folds like that. It's a little bit different. So let's start doing our layering. So I have everything cut. First, we're going to put in this back piece, and this is directional, so you want to make sure you cut it this way, not so the flowers are going the wrong way, okay? So let's, and I use liquid glue for this. I've been using the Seal Plus, but I just want to make sure everything lines up. So we're just going to put a little liquid glue, just go over there, and we're going to center this right in here. So there's a border left to right, top to bottom. Okay, and then so this piece, I'll tell you, but again, you don't have to write it down. This piece is the back mat, and it's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to have 4 of these, and these are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So all of them will be 5 1/4. The card base is 5 1/2, so it gives you that little you know, border around it. Again, it's directional, so make sure you've got your pattern going the right way. And you want to line up, make sure the top and the bottom kind of line up together as best you can. And so here's our second one of this size. Just like this. Okay, very easy. Once you have everything cut, now we're going to do this piece. Look at that, my back. So we're going, and I'm just wondering, I think I want to do it this way so I can kind of look and guide. So I can kind of eyeball it and make sure it's kind of lining up. Okay, and then one more of these. And I'm going to show you there's skinny pieces that I put that they didn't do when I watched Barry and Jay. I think it was Jay that made the card. I'm not sure. They worked together. And I'm not sure who's who. So they did not put anything here. And when I made this card, I felt like that white just really popped out. So I actually cut 2 little pieces and stuck them behind. This was already stuck down, but I'm going to, I cut pieces, and I'll put that in the instructions because I think it's a much nicer, I think it goes this way. It's a much nicer look, I think. What do you guys think? It kind of finishes it off, so I'm going to do that. Again, if you don't and you want to squeeze in a piece, this piece is 5 1/4 by 1/4. And let's just put it this way. And I'm using the liquid glue here so I can really move things around. So, right, it's more finished. And then I have one more. So 1/4 of an, or 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. Just like this. And I love this paper. So this is against the white, and then the other paper I'm going to have against the black, but I am going to have a white mat on it. So there you go. This is your card base. So let's put that aside. And now I have 5 white pieces because 4 will be mats and 1 will be in there. And these are all 1 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then the pattern paper is 1 3/8 by 3 3/8. So it will fit very snugly in here. and then it will fit on here. Very pretty. So if you got my card class for last month and you have extra of the mixed media paper, you can make these cards just the way I did. Okay, so we're just going to, I'm going to quickly add all of the paper to the mats. I'll speed this up. So this is really like an 1/8 of an inch border. Usually we do 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to add all of these to the card and this to the inside. Now, if you're going to stamp it before you adhere it on the inside piece, just in case you make a mistake. I'm not going to stamp it again. I am going to decorate it. We're going to put some butterflies on this. So let's just get this all nice and even. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Yes. Sometimes I get confused. And then I fold it and I'm like, oh, I did that wrong. And for this one, I'm going to do my, I like on the white to just do the Seal Plus. I feel like sometimes the glue shows through. Okay. Easy, right? And now what we're going to do is adhere this in here. So the first thing we'll do is we'll put adhesive on the back of the center piece. And we want to make sure it's centered and straight, the top and the bottom. When I watched them, they measured the center of this and the center of that. I don't do that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to put glue here, and we don't want to go above where the black is. So you only want glue between where the black is. So fold it this way, and then we're going to put glue and maybe this is why they didn't put the designer series paper on. I don't know. We're going to put glue here, and then we're going to just lay this down. And give it a minute because you don't want to pull it off. The liquid glue does take a minute. So let's do this side. We're going to put glue between, just like where the black area is. So just here to here, okay? And you see why, right? There we go. So let's put the top on this and make sure this is nice and dry. And then this and this. Very pretty. So what they did was, when I watched the video, they had something here and something here. I decided just to put something here. If you do decide to put something on both sides, don't pop it up. Like I popped this up with dimensionals. It will be too bulky. But I think it's fine just plain. And I'm going to do the same thing with this card. So I thought what I would do is cut some butterflies and use a circle. So I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm using the 3rd from the largest, and I cut that out. And that's what I did for this one as well. All right, so I have that cut out. And then I thought I would, this is the back of this paper, and I thought I would use the beautiful butterflies. It's really getting dark here, so I hope it's not too dark for you guys. The beautiful butterflies, and I am going to cut 2 of them, the intricate, and then I'm going to cut, I've already die cut some, so let me just show you what I have. This is going to be for the inside, and then I die cut a black body for the inside, and you get two of the the butterflies, but you only get one of the body. I'm trying to pick it up here. Let me get my take your pick tool. Where is it? I can't pick it up. There we go. So I already die cut one extra body. We can die cut these at one time with one of the bodies. All right, so let me do that. It looks pitch black here outside. So I'm going to take my base, my number 2, my number 3, and I'm just going to, it's great to die cut on the backs of these papers. It's got such a nice different look. And then I'll do one of the bodies. Let me get my top plate. And hang it over a little bit at the top and run it through. Okay. Take these off. All right, let me just get my lint roller, clean that off. And then we can put this back. And the take your pick tool, there is a brush that you can add to it and just get those pieces out. Okay, and that's garbage. Let's just clean this up while we're here and put that aside. You could do this over your garbage can too. We'll just push all of that aside and get our body out. There's a little hole that you could poke through with your take your pick tool, and that will pop it out. All right, so now we have our butterflies and our bodies. And we can, I thought I would do the happy birthday from the stamp set, but it's too long. So what I'm going to do is break it in half, and I will use the black memento ink. So we're just going to have the pop of orange, but the sentiment is going to be the black memento. And you can use masking tape or post-it tape or post-it note. And what you want to do is find the end. See these? Have them everywhere. And you're just going to cover the word. I'm going to start with birthday because birthday is longer and it just helps you to center. So I'm going to cover the word happy with this. And then we're going to ink up birthday. We got to take this off, otherwise the ink from this is going to go on your project. And we'll just put it right here, center it, birthday. And now we want to clean this because we're going to do happy, but we don't want any residual ink from birthday. So we'll clean that. We're going to do the same thing, only we're going to cover birthday. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, and we'll just do happy, and we'll take this off and throw it away. And now we want to just kind of center it. There you go. So that's a way to break it. Some people will cut their sentiments up. I don't do that because then if I don't want it cut up, I am stuck. Right, so I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the body of each butterfly. So one of the butterflies is for the inside of the card. So just a little bit of glue. And I don't even put it on the head. I'm just going to put it right here. And you can fold the wings if you want, because I'm not going to glue them down. And I'm having a hard time picking things up here. Oh, come on. And put a little glue here. And put that on here. I think these are so pretty, so I figured I would put one here and one here, and then we'll have one for the middle, for the inside, I should say. So I think this is great, the pop of orange on the black and white. So I think I'll put this down first. So these should be nice and dry now. So let's put this on with our dimensionals. Let me put the top on here. And I'll put the dimensionals kind of in the middle. This might hang over a little bit, so you don't want to put them too close to the edge. And I think 3 should do it. So this is the side that's going to be on the outside of the card. So we'll just put it like this. Very pretty. And then we'll put some glue on the butterflies. And again, I'm just putting it right on the body. And we'll have one go like this. And then one go the other way. Even the back of this is pretty with the black and white. Happy birthday. And then let's put this one on the inside. I want to make sure it's not in the crease. So see this, you want to make sure it will fold. Yep, that works. And that works. So let's put some bling on it. Let me see what I have. For this one, this is peach pie, and this is really pumpkin pie and peach pie. And that would work here, but I think I want to put just maybe some rhinestones. Let me find out something. So we have so many different kinds of embellishments now, and I think sometimes it's fun just to go back to the plain old rhinestones, and these have tiny ones. I'm wondering if we can put them on the butterfly. You don't want something too big. Let's put 3 on each. So on the body, what do you think? And if you don't like this, you don't have to do this. You can put whatever bling you want. I'm not going to put it on the inside. I think it might be too bulky. There's a lot of bulk to this card. So we're just adding to it. Got to keep adding to it, right? So there it is. And it stands up. And here's the other one. I'm wondering how I'm going to even take pictures of these. It might be fun. I'll have to use my hands. So anyway, those are called, again, Winged Gate Fun Fold cards. And I just want to go through next week. So this is my March calendar. If you want the calendar, just subscribe to my email list. There's a link below. So if you look below the video, there's a description and it has a bunch of links. One of them is for a project sheet. And then next week, we'll make a diagonal gatefold card. I do color combos. I do sketches on Wednesday and Saturday. And you can find all that on the blog. I do the video with the fun folds on Friday. So check it out, and trying to think of what else. So all the measurements, and then what else did I say? My card class. So if you wanted the card class, I'll have a link below the video on that. There'll be a link to my blog. So all kinds of good stuff there if you just look below. All right, thanks so much, and I will see you next week. Have a great week.